What's going on, everyone? We're back. Conference championship weekend. We got a couple of good games this weekend. I don't know if anything's going to compare to what we saw in the divisional round. With a lot of good games. Obviously, the one that took the cake was the Chiefs and Bills. Kind of lived up to all the expectations that everyone had for that game. Um, that it was just the last 2 minutes of that game was more exciting than any NFL game I've watched in my lifetime. But that being said, there was a lot of other good games this weekend. The Bengals winning outright against the Titans on that last second field goal off the foot of Evan McPherson, the rookie kicker. The game after that, we had the Packers. We saw what happened there. The 49ers went into Lambeau and shocked the world against Aaron Rodgers. Everyone knows he's supposed to lose in the NFC Championship, not the divisional round. So that surprise came a little bit of a week early for me. I was pretty disappointed. I was pretty heavy on the Packers last weekend, so took a hit on that one. And then another huge upset of the weekend, at least for me. I know, Mackie, you had them off the card. The Rams jumping out to that very early lead against the Bucks. It was, I think, 17-0, maybe 23 at some point, or 20-7, or something like 20 to
It's
3, or
27-3 at one point.
yeah, they had every chance to run away with that game, and they were running away with that game. But if anyone knows Tom Brady throughout his career, he's going to make it a game if you give him a chance. And the
They were
Rams
giving
gave
him
him
chances.
the Rams gave him every bit of a chance to come back in that game with all the turnovers, the snap over Stafford's head, the miscommunications throughout the whole lineup. That being said, they end up winning the game 30-27 after that crazy comeback to tie it late in the fourth quarter for the Bucks. But you can't run as cover zero on the last play of the game when you got Stafford and Cooper Kupp, who have been known to go deep all season. Rams end up getting the game-winning field goal, and then obviously the last game with the Chiefs covering the spread against the Bills. It was only a 1.5-point spread, but the biggest takeaway for me from this weekend was 3 out of 4 underdogs winning outright. Wish I would have put that together in a little parlay, even a 3-leg. Throw the Chiefs in there at the end. It was almost a pick 'em with the Chiefs closing at -120 on the money line. So definitely a fire weekend of football this past weekend. I'm looking forward to the games this weekend. How about you, Mackie?
Yeah, it's a divisional round we'll probably never see again. It's just four amazing games, one after another. No, I had Bills on my card. If you're gonna lose one, that's the way you want to lose it. It's a great game overall. I don't obviously you want to come out on the winning side, but Pat Mahomes always comes out on top. But yeah, we got both one seeds knocked off in their first game. What do you think? It makes you think: is that first round bye really a good thing, or you know, creates rust?
Like we said last week, I think for some teams it's a good thing.
Yeah, well,
We
I thought it
both
was
said
good
for
for Aaron
Tennessee it
Rodgers.
was not. Yeah, we both said for Tennessee it wasn't a good thing. Teams like that they were playing hot. Obviously, the bye week gave them the chance to get their star running back Derrick Henry back in the lineup. I bet him to rush for 50 yards. I think he had like 60, and the backup Dante Foreman had more yards than him. Derrick Henry did cash in on the first touchdown though. I loved it. It was only plus 400. That's why I didn't take it.
Yeah,
It's just there's no odds or there's no value in those odds for the first touchdown, especially when the Bengals get an interception on the first play of the game off Tannehill. Tannehill came to play early on for the Titans, throwing the pick on the first drive. So
yeah, this is an awful start.
that was a big play for the Bengals. I had them +4 in money line, so I hit a nice couple bets on the Bengals last week. Um, That being said, it's going to be tough for them for their defense to hold this high-powered Kansas City offense this weekend. But the spread's sitting at 7.5. The Chiefs' money line is -355. Bengals sitting at +285 on the money line, and the over/under sitting at 54.5. So we'll get right into it. What do you guys like?
This game can go one of two ways, and we've seen it 1,000 times where Pat Mahomes makes a really good game going into the fourth quarter, a 21-point blowout. So, I think this is a good game for the most part, but I think the Chiefs end up running away with it and showing everyone that they're the best team in the league, and they're for real again this year. I mean, Joey B and the Bengals are now rolling. They're on cloud nine. They're at a high right now, but I think they've hit their peak. I think
in the future, Joey B will be a favorite in the AFC. But as for now, his road's gonna end right here, I think. But I think it'll be a good game. I think he'll put up good numbers. I think he won't go out. He'll go down swinging at least. But
Looking at this spread right off the bat, I think a lot of people, it's easy to think the Bengals can keep this close. But I'm sitting right with you. I think it's going to be a close game. Maybe Chiefs jump out to an early lead and you give Burrow a couple of chances. The consistency that he's had throughout the latter part of this season and throughout the playoffs so far. But like you said, no one expected the Bengals to be here. So kind of riding right with you on that one. I think the Chiefs end up winning this game by about 10, maybe 13 points and covering this spread. It's just tough to say with a very young and talented quarterback. Really, for both teams with Burrow and Mahomes, this is a great quarterback matchup, as we saw in, I think it was week 17 of this season. The Bengals winning that game outright, so that gives me every more chance to love the Chiefs to win this thing. The minus 355 on the money line isn't too tempting straight up, so you're definitely going to have to throw some points in there, give or take whoever you like, but I'm leaning more towards the Chiefs. The minus 7.5 sitting at minus 104, so looking like we could see some line movement. I think a lot of people are high on the Bengals right now. Like I said, for good reason, but they beat the Raiders and the Titans. I'm not really too sold on who they've beat more. It's been how they've been playing. Like I said, when they played the Raiders, they didn't impress me too much in that game. They gave the Raiders every chance to come back and cover that spread, let alone win the game. Save that Jermaine Pratt interception on the goal line. The Bengals are the ones getting knocked out in the wild card game, and we would have seen the Vegas Raiders moving on. But so we all know what happened. The Bengals are still alive going into the AFC Championship, going into Kansas City. My logic behind this game is if the Bills can't beat the Chiefs, I don't think the Bengals can. So it's that simple for me.
yeah, I think we already saw the AFC Championship game, and granted, it was the best game we've seen all year. So Chiefs win this game. That connection between Joey B and Jamar Chase is going to be a really good thing for the years to come. But they're in this situation solely based on Joey B, and they need linemen. They need a better defense. They just need more of an all-around team to get to the Super Bowl, and they're just not there yet. They'll be there soon, but they got a few years. Joey B's just solidified himself in that conversation for one of the best quarterbacks in the AFC.
Yeah, I can't agree with that one more. Definitely a bright future for the young quarterback at LSU, the national champion. I definitely see him getting a Super Bowl at some point, but I just don't think. I think the road's getting a little too tough for him this year. I do think if they somehow manage to win this game, I don't think they will. I like their chances really against. I don't love their chances against either NFC team, but I think if they get through the Chiefs, it's a lot more of a 50-50 toss-up in the Super Bowl for maybe if we get a Bengals-Rams or even a Bengals-49ers Super Bowl somehow. That is such an ugly Super Bowl, but
You can't beat the Chiefs and then lose in the Super Bowl. It's
that's
like
what I'm saying.
it's like the 1980 Olympics team beating Russia and then losing to Sweden in the gold medal game.
Yeah, once you this if I like I'm saying, I think the Chiefs win this game. Not too much of a bold statement me saying that, but just for the sake of a conversation, if the Bengals somehow do win this game, I do like their chances to beat either one of the NFC teams, just riding high, riding that momentum into the Super Bowl. This very young team. Everyone's going to say they haven't been there before. They haven't been there before, but really the only other player other than Mahomes that has been there before is Von Miller on the Rams and Jimmy Garoppolo. So neither one of those players have too much of a say right now. Garoppolo's playoff stats have not been good. He's still there. So
He's riding his defense.
yeah, that defense, everyone knows
And
what
that
happened last week in Green Bay, not scoring an offensive touchdown.
and
They
that
end
whole
up
entire
going into
offense,
Green Bay and winning. So
the
go
whole
ahead,
offense is
Mackie.
ran around Debo. I mean,
Oh,
like
yeah,
he'll
100%.
throw the ball, he'll run the ball, he'll just it's everything like behind behind the snap. Just like he's just all over the field. You can't get away from him.
Yeah, the dude, and the fact that he went in, I think, the second round out of South Carolina is just amazing to me. The receivers like N'Keal Harry and all those kind of guys went before him, and you got a bunch of teams scratching their head watching number 19 play for San Francisco, and That's what happens on draft day. You got a lot of guys that slip through the ranks, overlooked. South Carolina's an SEC football school too, so. But back to this Chiefs-Bengals game. We have Tyrann Mathieu, who actually left the game last weekend with a concussion. He was a full participant in Thursday's practice session, so it's looking like the Honey Badgers are going to be back and ready to go for the game on Sunday at home against the Bengals. Another big name, not necessarily too big of a name, but a big part of this Chiefs offense throughout the years has been Darrell Williams, the running back. He had a toe injury. He was limited this week, and you got to think with the little duo they have going of Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Jerick McKinnon, you got to think that if Darrell Williams is even 50, 60%, that he's going to sit this game out with the chance to go to the Super Bowl and play in the Super Bowl. So, but I think obviously the biggest one going into this game is going to be the status of Tyrann Mathieu, the big player on the Chiefs defense, really him and Chris Jones. But you were able to see the Bills kind of exploit the Chiefs defense vertically and the deep ball to Gabe Davis many times, 4 to
Well,
be
yeah, I
exact.
mean, both those last two touchdowns were blown coverages in the end zone.
Yeah, and you got to think that Tyrann Mathieu makes one of those plays.
Exactly.
I'm not going to say he's the greatest corner or greatest safety ever, and he's going to make both those plays and get an interception on one, but you got to think he's tipping one of those balls or something. Like he's even
Making noise.
he's even a smart enough player that you take the 15-yard pass interference instead of giving up a 60-yard touchdown to Gabe Davis.
Exactly, yeah.
Like,
Do something about it.
just trip the guy, tackle him, do something other than just let him run right past you.
Players like that make plays that save games.
Exactly. And looking at the Bengals, the injury report for the Bengals, really nothing too big. They got the defensive end, Cam Sample. He had a groin injury that he suffered last week, so he did not participate in practice yesterday, but groin injury, defensive end, he's not necessarily too big part of their defense. I think he'll get his fair share of snaps, so I'm just not too high on the Bengals going into this week. The 7.5-point spread, if it was 6.5, I would absolutely say hammer the Chiefs. That 7.5 just always has a chance to fuck you by the touchdown with the extra point, but I don't think you have too much to be worried about if you're taking the Chiefs with the points, as I will be.
Yeah, I think it's gonna move down to 7 anyway, but I still like them at 7. I think they win by a touchdown.
Yeah. I'm going to see what the current odds are. I can't get even numbers on alternate spreads for FanDuel, but the 6.5 is sitting at the Chiefs minus 6.5 is sitting at minus 130. So if this goes to minus 7, you got to think that'll be sitting around like 120, 118. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm all over the Chiefs with the points here. As far as the passing props, we'll start to look at what we think these young quarterbacks can do. Both quarterbacks having a high number set for them, like I said, for good reason. They've had explosive offenses all season. Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be set at 289.5 yards. Joe Burrow, 287.5 yards. What do we like here? Do we think either quarterback goes over? Do we think they both go over? Mackie, what do you think?
I mean, you gotta think that they go over. Like you can't expect defense to overpower in this game, correct?
I don't think so at all. I agree.
284 though. They could both have good games and they could still not throw for 284 yards.
289 and 287.
Oh, I thought you said Mahomes was 284.
No, 289.5 for Mahomes. Burrow's at 287.5. So basically, you're betting them both to get to around 290 yards or more.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely like Mahomes. I really like Mahomes. Joey B, I don't know. It just matters how he comes out.
Yeah, this is the
But
kind of game.
I wouldn't
If
bet
he's,
on the over there.
yeah, I wouldn't either. I don't see too much value in Burrow's over, only at minus 114. As far as Mahomes, I'm not sure what the trends are on his passing props over, but I did see a thing where some stat about the Chiefs in the playoffs taking Mahomes rushing yards. It's like 6-0 or something in the past couple years, and I don't have his exact rushing prop right now, but if you were to bet Mahomes 40-plus rushing yards, you're sitting about plus 188. The 25 is minus 166, so you got to think he's set at right around like 32.5 on the rushing yards. But not a play I'm really loving, as he's not necessarily the most. He is a mobile quarterback, but obviously with all the weapons around him, they don't really need him to run the ball too much and put it on the ground with a chance of him taking the hit, and then your $500 million quarterback could be down and potentially miss the Super Bowl, even if they do somehow still win this game without him.
Yeah, I wouldn't really get near the Russian props too much. I don't really like to stay. I like to stay away from that. You got any first touchdown scores?
Yeah, we'll get into the touchdowns right here. Let's look at the first touchdown scores for the Chiefs and Bengals. The two favorites are going to be, as usual, the big dogs from Kansas City, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, plus 600. Sitting right behind him is Joe Mixon, plus 700. Jamar Chase, plus 800. Jerick McKinnon, plus 850. And the guy who did it last week, Project Pat Mahomes, plus 1,000.
What's Clyde?
Sitting right with Patrick Mahomes, plus 1,000.
I kind of like Clyde. They're little stupid flick plays that they do on the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know why Jerick McKinnon's more favored than Clyde. I'm not going to lie, I bet Jerick McKinnon anytime touchdown scorer last week. Or not anytime, next touchdown scorer I got. It was like plus 1,400 when I bet it. And they fucking went, I forget who scored. I think it was that play he went deep to Pringle. Pringle was like plus 2,900 to score the next touchdown. I was like, oh my God, dude, I can't catch a break. I was just live betting stupid props on that game, but
Losing so much.
yeah, I learned my lesson. I was doing live drives. I had the Chiefs kick a field goal on the one. It was like plus 340. That hit. I went right back with the Bills, the punt. They were on that punt streak where they just kept punting the ball. Couldn't really get much going throughout the middle part of that game. And I literally look up after I place the bet, and it's a fucking 60-plus yarder deep to Gabe Davis in the end zone. I was like, wow,
That's
that was
crazy.
the fastest $100 I've ever lost in my life.
Yeah,
Like,
you get too money hungry and you start throwing money where you shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly. I hit place bet. I screenshotted it. It's like, cause I hate logging in and out and shit to look at what my bets are for the week. I screenshot it. I'm looking at it in my images. First play, boom, Gabe Davis, 60-plus yards in the end zone. One play, 1st and 10. I was like, wow, that went quick. That was a fun bet. Really, it was. It was fun losing $100 in 5 seconds.
Something different every day.
Yeah, seriously. And then just a bunch of stupid props that I didn't hit in that game. That was a tough game for me. I did hit the Chiefs on the money line, but it wasn't anything big of a payout. Only the minus 120 on the money line. So can't complain about a hit, but with how many fucking losing props I had in that game, I was pretty disappointed with myself.
Yeah, other than my card, I've been doing really good lately. My NHL, I've been killing the NHL.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've had a couple nice fucking nights with the NHL. That's for sure.
Tonight I had a pretty rough night, but
Tonight,
yeah,
what'd
really
you bet
bad
tonight?
actually. What did I bet? I had Toronto minus 1.5. They fucking couldn't put the empty net in. I had Blues. I Blues money line. They won. I had Isles money line. They lost 3-2, and then I had Hurricanes minus 1.5.
They only won by one.
Yeah, they won in overtime.
Yeah.
So I went 1-3. It was pretty bad. I lost I think $400, 4 and change. But I was up like 15 this week. So
Yeah, you're having a good week, so you were due. You hate to say it, but you're almost due for one of those nights when you're having a really good week.
I kind of knew it. I knew it coming into the night. I was like, it's a bad slate. I don't even like it, but you gotta ride the hot hand, you know.
Yeah, when you're hot, but you always you can't ever be too surprised whenever you're up that big and you have a 1-3 night. I've been there, done that. I've had worse nights after a big week, and it really just kills your confidence going into the rest of the week. But you got to have the mentality to bounce back tomorrow.
It kind of humbles you because you're just like on top of the world, and then you're like, shit, I can actually lose money. I got to be more careful.
Exactly. Like me with those fucking prop bets on Sunday.
Yeah, because you think you're gonna hit everything, and then you're like, damn, I lost everything.
I hit the first drive I bet. I was like, yeah, field goal. That was the easiest $340 I've ever won in my life.
I'm gonna do this all day.
I'm gonna bet every drive. Next 3, loser.
I
Unreal, bro. It's crazy how it happens.
But as far as the anytime touchdown, we have some heavy odds on the two favorites again from Kansas City. Kelsey, the outright favorite at -155. Hill -150. Mixon -140. Jamar Chase -115. McKinnon +105, and your boy Clyde Edwards-Helaire sitting at +140. Mahomes anytime to rush one in is still +155. I'd like to see him sitting in the 200s, but he's been shown that he's going to move this ball around. And another guy that has snuck up these odds is Byron Pringle after the big game last week, catching the ball in the end zone +170.
I feel like the odds aren't there. There's so many people in the minus.
There's so many people that both of these teams can get the ball to, and I say so many people that both these teams can get the ball to. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 of the top 9 are Chiefs. Yeah, 6 of the top 9 are Kansas City Chiefs. So unless you're betting Hill or Kelsey first touchdown, I really don't see too much value in any of these touchdown scores. As far dude, you're telling me Byron Pringles +170?
Yeah, come on.
The only one I really think it's worth money is McCole Hardman +260.
That's even pushing it.
Yeah, that's even looking for a heavy plus bet. I would never advise to do that, but I don't like any of these plays on the anytimer.
Yeah, I like I like some first touchdowns, but I don't like the anytimes.
I wish they had the first team touchdown scores up because that's something I've been looking in lately. Oh, they do have it. First team touchdown score. These odds are a little bit better. Getting Kelsey at +360. Hill at +360 again. They've been tied with almost everything. So McKinnon 500, Helaire +600. But in my opinion, I think the Chiefs are going to score first in the game out. And anyway,
if you're gonna bet first team touchdown, you're gonna bet Bengals.
I was going to say you're going to take Jamar Chase or Joe Mixon or someone on the Bengals. I think there's some value with Mixon +270, but even at that, with how pass heavy this offense is, it's Mixon's more of a second quarter, third quarter kind of guy to get in the end zone to give him like a 14-point game or not necessarily a 14-point game, but get their second or third touchdown of the game if the offense is rolling and has everything clicking for them.
Yeah, you're gonna. I don't know. It's just. Wait, do you have the Bengals for anytime?
First team
or the Bengals first team touchdown?
Yeah, Mixon actually has the best odds out of everyone for the first team, Chiefs or Bengals, +270. Jamar Chase +310. T. Higgins +470. And the next Cincinnati Bengal would be your boy C.J. Uzomah +700.
C.J. Uzomah. How can you fade him?
I like Boyd.
Odds?
Sitting right there with him at 700, but
no, I don't like Boyd.
Boyd's been getting in for the Bengals.
He's a red zone target, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like any Bengals props this weekend.
Yeah, I like the value in that +700 for any time or for the first for the team. Though.
Yeah, dude. They're high on Pringle this week. Someone's fucking smoking some crack, making these odds for Byron Pringle +700 for the first team touchdown. I don't see.
They know something.
Seriously, dude. I don't know. Maybe I'm the one smoking crack over here. I don't know. These odds just don't look right for me. I don't think there's any value in Byron Pringle. I mean, I've been high on him all year. I've been saying it's not just Kelsey and Hill. It's Pringle. It's Hardman. It's Demarcus Robinson for the Chiefs. But I don't know. His odds are. I'd like to see him in the +1000, even for the first team.
Yeah, definitely. You'd expect so.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's some kind of injury for McCole Hardman and Demarcus Robinson, where they might not get as many snaps, where they're going to play.
Yeah, I don't know why. I feel like Pringle and Hardman are like the same. Like they're the exact same.
If anything,
level.
I think Hardman's a little better.
Yeah, well, even so, like, why? I don't know why his odds are so much lower than
+250 higher. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really see too much value in any of these props for this game. If you're looking for a pick, I like the Chiefs with the points. Jesse, what do you like? You haven't really been talking too much.
So this is a interesting game this week. Cincinnati is 5-0 against the spread in its last 5, 7-1 against the spread in its last 8 on the road. Kansas City is 5-0 against the spread in its last 5 at home. So a lot of very similar trends this week. But I do think the Chiefs are going to get it done. I don't think you can bet against Pat Mahomes. Minus 104, you're not. You might see some movement there. If you can get it lower, that's the way to go. It's 7.5. You're going to be rolling the same way. They got to get it done in regular time.
Yeah, I don't see a situation where the Bengals can force overtime, but if somehow the Bengals have a lead and and the Chiefs are down 7, and Pat Mahomes gets a 2-minute drill, I think you can count on overtime. But I don't see that being a situation. I'll be taking Chiefs with the points. I'd say as far as the
Chief
over
money.
under 54.5, just for the sake of a conversation. I hate to. I don't know. It's such a high over under. I don't really know if the Bengals are going to be able to hang with the Chiefs too much, but this Chiefs offense is capable of putting up 34 points any given Sunday or more. And that being
I will never ever take a Chiefs under.
yeah,
Never.
and that being
Even
said,
if I don't like the over, I will never take the under. There's just way too many weapons. There's so many chances for them to score. They could score any given play. You can't take any. They scored 25 minutes after the 2-minute warning in that game against the Bills. Pat Mahomes threw for 177 yards after the 2-minute warning. There's multiple games where quarterbacks don't even throw for 177 yards in 4 quarters. He did it in the final 2 minutes and then one drive in overtime.
I was going to say he did it in 2 minutes, and Allen had the ball for one of those minutes.
It's fucking insane, dude. You cannot take an under with that team. You just can't.
He's too
no way.
good. It's just tough. I don't know. I kind of see some early struggles for the Bengals, but it could just be me saying Chiefs. I like the Chiefs with the points here, so I'm hoping they jump out to maybe a 10-0 lead or something like that. But as far as the first half spread, it's sitting right now at Chiefs minus 4.5. I'm kind of liking that.
I like that.
I think they do get out to the early lead, maybe by a touchdown by halftime, and I think they are able to cover a 4.5-point spread in the first half, carry that into the second half, and roll with this 7.5 and head to what would this be, a 3rd consecutive Super Bowl for Mahomes? Yeah. This is 4th straight AFC championship. The dude runs the AFC right now. There's no one. Obviously the Bills look like they were if they had anything to say about it, other than 13 seconds with a couple timeouts for Pat, would be talking Bills-Bengals right now, but it's not what we're talking. Chiefs are here, 4th straight year. I like the Chiefs in this game. I'm really all Chiefs.
I think I'm going to ride with you there. I think we're all thinking the same way. Chiefs all the way.
Let's lock it in.
Moving forward, you got the San Francisco 49ers at the Los Angeles Rams. We got the Rams favored at minus 3.5. The money line at minus 176. San Francisco's money line at plus 148. And the over-under at 45.5.
The 49ers are 2-0 against the Rams already this season. Let's not forget how the 49ers got into the playoffs. What was that, a 17-point comeback by Jimmy G and then an overtime winner?
Yeah, I bet the 49ers in that game. That was a crazy hit.
I mean, there's no way they go 3-0 against them in 1 year. There's no chance. Have you seen the Rams lately? Nobody's stopping them. Matt Stafford's playing like an MVP quarterback. That's all they
were
need.
cover 0 away from blowing a 27-3 lead
against the best quarterback of all time.
Yeah, I'm not saying the 49ers are that good, but I think there's a lot of holes in this Rams team whenever they're playing. I don't want to say holes in this team when they're playing on any given Sunday, but there's a lot of things that could go wrong for this team. The defense is obviously built to win a championship. They have been built to win a championship for the past couple seasons. Getting there against the Patriots, losing that game 13-10, one of the most boring Super Bowls I've ever watched in my life. But
13-3. They didn't score a touchdown.
yeah, you're right. 13-3, same thing. I mean, he had Jared Goff at quarterback. You couldn't expect much, but
That was the end of Jared Goff.
yeah, exactly. And I don't know, this 3.5-point spread. I think in my role with divisional games is give, don't take, but I don't have too much faith in Jimmy G either. So I think this is going to be a very low scoring game, as FanDuel thinks the same thing, with the over under sitting 9 points lower than the other game, 45.5. So I don't know. The plus 3.5 for the 49ers is a little tempting to me. It doesn't mean me saying I don't think the Rams can win this game, but I really think the 49ers have the Rams number this year, showing that they can come back from a 17-point deficit. I don't like their chances to do that again if the Rams jump out to an early lead, but the Rams in that second half, the miscommunications, it's tough to say you're going to do that 2 weeks in a row, but this 49ers defense, and I'm not even going to go there and say the special teams looks unstoppable, because it's fucking special teams. And yeah, it can win and lose games, but yeah, it's really all about the defenses in this game. You got the high flying 49ers and the Rams. It's going to be a tough game for both teams. I think both offenses throw a couple picks, a couple turnovers either way, but as far as right now, I'm not really sure who I love in this game. I think the 49ers, I'm leaning towards the plus 3.5, but I don't know. Right now, I'm not really willing to make a pick on this game right now.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning Rams here. I think they get it done here. I might buy the 0.5 point to make it 3 if it's still sitting at 3.5, just because of how many games come down to last second field goals. Yeah, I think this Rams team is just too good. They're too hot right now to let a team come in and beat them for a third time in one season. I just don't see it happen. You know how hard it is to beat any team 3 times in one season rather than a good playoff team, a divisional winner team? I can't see it happening.
I do think the 49ers have the better head coach. Everyone high on McVay over the past couple of years. I
think they're they've coached together for the past 15 years.
Yeah.
They coached in, where'd they coach? In
Washington,
Minnesota, I think.
I thought it was Cincinnati.
It might have been Cincinnati. I don't know, but they moved together multiple times. They coached RG3 in Washington. I know that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the coaching is pretty equal in this matchup. Sean McVay is a pretty good coach. Not taking anything away from Kyle Shanahan, but they're both very good coaches.
Yeah. The only thing for me, I really could care less who wins this game. I'm a Seahawks fan. I have fucking 2 teams from the NFC West and the fucking NFC Championship, but the NFC West showing its dominance throughout the past couple years. Really, the past 10 years, we've had a Seahawks, 49ers, Seahawks, all their success over the past couple years, the Rams of late, and really the 49ers going to the Super Bowl 2 years ago against the Chiefs to lose. Really, the NFC West has shown its dominance over the past 10 years, which is most impressive to me, that we have yet another NFC West divisional game in the conference championship.
Yeah, that as we know, that division is probably the best division in football with the most competitors. You got the Seahawks at the bottom of the division with one of the best quarterbacks in the leagues. But yeah, they show even the 49ers alone, like they're 2 out of 3 Super Bowls. You have the Rams right before that. The Rams are always a powerhouse. Division's just lethal, you know?
I don't know how much cap space the Seahawks have, but a little off topic here. I'd love the Seahawks to make a play for one of these receivers in free agency, whether it be Devontae, Mike Williams.
I think they're going the opposite direction.
With what? What do you mean?
They're tanking. Russ is gonna try to get out of there. I don't think they're turning around right now.
I think it's either turn around now or, like you said, he's gone.
I think he's gone. I don't think he's gonna be there anymore.
I wouldn't mind him coming to Pittsburgh, that's for sure.
Imagine that's your
dream NFL scenario right there.
Yeah.
Talk about a fill-in for Ben. Russ hasn't had a defense like this. I mean, we're going way off topic here, but he hasn't had a defense like that since 2013 when they won the Super Bowl.
13 or 15?
13. They lost him 14. They won in 13.
Was that long ago? The 12th man,
dude. I was
Richard Sherman against
I was in
Crabtree.
I was in 9th grade when that play happened.
That was so long ago. Damn.
Yeah. Almost 9 years ago. It was 9 years ago. I don't know why I'm saying almost. It was
Yeah.
9 years ago.
Sorry, receiver like Crabtree.
It's the result you're going to get. Yeah, back to this game. I don't know. I'm going to be making a pick on this game. Definitely closer to Sunday, probably Sunday afternoon. I'm going to have to see like right before who I really like, who I'm feeling, but really going either. I really could go either way on this game. Last set, I could love the 49ers so much that I just bet the Rams because I'm just I don't know. It's just kind of gambler's logic on that. When you love something so much, you got to wonder if you just go the other way, but sometimes I trust my gut, sometimes I fade myself, so really, this is the perfect definition of a game that I will wait until the last second to make a pick on.
Yeah, you're probably gonna see Rams -3 on my card or -4, whatever it's at. But nothing official yet. We got any touchdown scores?
Yeah, we'll get into the first touchdown scores. Or Jesse, who do you like in this game?
Honestly, I think 49ers might be the way to go here based on the trends I'm about to read. San Francisco's always been a moneymaker for bettors in January. They've covered 9 straight and are 16-4-1 against the spread in 21 games during January.
Yeah.
San Francisco is 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games against the Rams, and they're 6-1 against the spread in their last 7. Now for the Rams, they're 7-1 straight up in their last 8, and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 Sunday home games. So with those trends in mind, I think the plus 3.5 might be the way to go. If you see a team lose by a field goal yet again, you cover with that plus 3.5, and I think that's a smart move.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing right here. I think this could be like a definite field goal game. If this game was sitting at Rams -2.5, I'd probably be all over the Rams. Just the thought of possibly the Rams winning another one by a last-second field goal would not surprise me. We'll see what I like closer to Sunday.
I have to agree there. It's tough.
This 49ers defense just looks legit. Bosa, Warner, all the corners and defensive backs this team has, they look legit. Same to say for the Rams. This is a like I said, very defensive game. That under 45.5 is looking tempting to me.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but life's too short to bet the under, Huff.
Divisional game in the playoffs, dude. I think that rule doesn't apply here.
Fair enough.
I'd like to maybe tease the other games over lower and then raise this one's under. I might be looking at a play like that. I don't know if I've ever done that before. It might be a first timer for me. On or off the card. That's not worth it. Yeah, the under. I could do over 49.5 Chiefs Bengals and under 50.5 Niners Rams -110. That's the thing. It sucks with 2 games. Is I usually like to do 2 or 3 leg teasers, and I'd like to get this game maybe like 50 under or over 46.5, under 53.5, and then I just wish it was another game I could throw in there. But usually I miss on that third leg, so maybe it's a good thing there's only 2 games. As far as the first touchdown scores for this game, let's see here. Let me pull these up. The heavy favorite, Cooper Kupp plus 500, Deebo Samuel plus 600, Elijah Mitchell 650, Akers 650. My boy OBJ, who I hit on a couple weeks ago, you got to think I'm looking at his name twice, plus 800, sitting right there with Kittle at plus 950 to round out that top 6. Kittle. Yeah, dude, when I hit him, he was plus 1,050.
Yeah, come on.
Smack.
It's a little low.
I had what's it called? I had OBJ and Gronk in that game to score first, just hoping I could get one of them in. And that's why I don't do 2 first touchdown scorers, because it takes a guy that's, Kendall Blanton plus 4,300 to get in the end zone first this week. Any interest there?
What is he?
Plus 4,300.
No shot. He goes back to
You have a
back.
better chance of Kyle Juszczyk, 2,400. I think there's some value there. You have a better chance of the 49ers or Rams defense getting in first at 2,400 and 2,500. And just one crazy odds that I don't mind is Juwan Jennings for the 49ers. If the 49ers can get in the end zone first, Garoppolo has shown that when Debo's covered, they look to number 15, Juwan Jennings. He's been consistent throughout.
What are the odds there?
2,500.
Worth a sprinkle.
Yeah.
Throw $10, win $250.
Yeah, that's worth it. There's a lot. This
Yeah,
game, the
there's-
first
there's,
touchdown, is a lot more appealing to me than the other one.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's some value in Cam Akers and a little in Eli Mitchell. Kittle has good value too. I don't know why he's so high. Plus 900. You said 950?
950. I also am not hating on Sony Michel plus 1,400.
That's not bad either. Yeah, he could very well just be out there with as Cam Akers can.
Another guy that Stafford looks to a lot this was my logic going into that game when I had OBJ first in the Rams-Cardinals game.
Van Jefferson.
Van Jefferson plus 1,500.
I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, he's a sleeper.
When Kupp is
I don't think there's any value. I don't think there's any value in Cup or Debo plus 500, plus 600.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
Jake's
my luck, I'll take Van Jefferson. They'll throw it to him. He'll drop it in the end zone. Then Cooper Kupp will run a fucking jet sweep into the end zone.
Yeah, well, they know you have
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah, I just can't believe last week I was watching the game and they were like, and Kendall Blanton gets in, touchdown Rams. I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, I was sitting there. I had like 4 props on it. I had like, I forget who I had. I had
Dude, his anytime,
Mike Evans.
his anytime was probably plus
What?
2,800.
It was ridiculous. I was texting my boy about it. He was behind, and I was like, literally useless. He was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, there's a lot. I think there's a lot of value in some of these picks for the first touchdown. A guy that made me some money early on, I hit a next touchdown score. It was like the 4th touchdown of the game. It was like 49ers Rams. I don't even remember, or 49ers. Maybe it was the Rams. I meant to say Raiders the first time, but I think it was the Rams. I had Ayuk next touchdown score. It was like plus 1,900. I put $50 on it. That was a fat payout of $800. That was nice.
That is nice. That's huge. You love hitting those. It gets the blood boiling.
It really gets the fire going in the third quarter in a 17-3 game.
Makes every play interesting. You're sitting there in a fucking 3-score game with 2 minutes left, and you're just trying to go down the field, and you're screaming at the TV. Your mom's like, "What the fuck is the matter with you?
Like,
You wouldn't understand."
I just won $800.
Yeah, you wouldn't be laughing at you then.
Dude, I'll never forget the. I don't know if I told you this, Mackie. The weekend when the Steelers and Jags won, I wake up the one morning on the news. It says, if you would have put $100 on the Steelers and Jaguars both to win yesterday, you would have won $2,358. My mom texts me later that day and goes, I bet you didn't take this, and sends me a picture of that on the news. I go, are you fucking kidding me? You just sent me that? Are you calling me out for not betting the fucking Jaguars and Steelers money line? And then the next week I hit
You
OBJ.
called out by your mom.
Next week I hit OBJ and I was like screaming. She's like, what the fuck are you yelling about? I'm like, I just won $1,000. So
Keep laughing.
yeah, keep laughing. Now I won my grand. 2,300 would be nice, but I'll take my hit.
Yeah, never complain about money.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm really liking a couple of these plays here. If I had to just pick 3, looking at the odds, or no, I'll pick 2 for each team, just kind of who I would be leaning towards. It would definitely be Elijah Mitchell, 650 for the 49ers, and Kittle, 950. Like you said, I don't think there's too much value in Debo at 600. I think his anytime is going to be sitting heavy low. No, really, minus 105. I think there's some value there for Debo, but I think you have the better chance with the anytime than the first. With a guy like him, knowing the game plan is going to be to stop 19 for the Rams defense. So, like I said, Elijah Mitchell 650, Kittle 950, and then as far as the Rams, I'm leaning towards Sony Michel 1,400 and Van Jefferson, 1,500 for a pick. There's some value in all four of those, really.
Yeah, I agree with you on those Niners. I like Eli Mitchell and I like Kittle. I think there's good value in both of them. But Rams side, I'm gonna go with Cam Akers. What was he plus
650 with
800?
Eli.
What was he?
Plus 650 is tied with Eli Mitchell.
All right, I like Cam Akers, and then I don't know. I guess I can go. OBJ plus 900.
Neither of us said the tight end for the Rams, Higbee. Do you have any interest in him?
Higbee. I don't know. I don't see it
Yeah,
happening.
I don't either. I kind of leaned into the anytime touchdown scores a lot more even odds for this game. We said the last one had a lot of weapons. It's the NFC and AFC Championship weekend. These are the best teams in the NFL according to the playoffs so far. So Cooper Kupp, the favorite. He's been the favorite all season to get in the end zone anytime. He's sitting at minus 145. Akers and Debo tied at minus 105. And then you jump up to the plus bets. You get Eli Mitchell plus 105. OBJ plus 140. Kittle plus 165. Higbee 210. And Van Jefferson 260. So I think there's some value in Debo anytime minus 105.
Yeah, I like that. It's really the only play I like. I don't really like you. I usually don't like any times because I don't like the odds on them. But Debo minus 105. I feel like that's free money.
Yeah, I like that a lot. As far as the Rams, I think I'm looking at the same thing with. Where's Sony Michel? Plus 300 anytime? Is he not? Is he hurt? Okay, where's this injury report I'm looking at? What's going on with Sony Michel, dude?
He's downgraded.
There's nothing wrong with Sony Michel. Taylor Rapp, never heard of him. Van Jefferson knee was a limited participant in practice Thursday. There's why he has some higher odds.
That'll do it.
But anything else for the Rams? They look like a full go. Backup quarterback's questionable, so look out for him. Let me pull up the 49ers here. Elijah Mitchell knee.
Trent Williams
Be a
questionable.
limited participant Thursday. So he was a limited participant. Yeah, Trent Williams
Yeah, he's questionable.
suffered an ankle sprain in Saturday's win over the Packers. Two huge pieces for this 49ers offense. One guy blocking for the other, and Mitchell kind of having a breakout season. I'm not going to lie, I'm a football guy. I have no idea where Elijah Mitchell went to school or where the hell he came from. If you had a gun to my head, I couldn't tell you if he got drafted or not. So the dude's been profitable all season with his props. He really has. I know a lot of people that have been taking him first at any time, and they've been making some serious money on Elijah Mitchell, but I definitely think there's some value in him for this game. As far as the anytime, what was he sitting at? Plus 105. So, but I don't know. It's just tough for me to say. I hate picking two anytimers from the same team because some teams only score 2 touchdowns and then the rest is field goals. So it's like the odds of you picking both of their touchdowns are so slim.
Yeah, it's
You're
tough.
better off picking one for each team and just not caring about who wins the game, but like taking like Debo and like OBJ, just for example. What are the odds on that? Plus 403, just for a little wide receiver touchdown parlay. That's what I mean. Like, you put them together, you can get some serious props, but I don't think there's any value in putting two dudes from the same team together. If you were to do Debo and Elijah, it's only plus 360. Still good odds, but like I said, the odds of calling 2 touchdowns from the same team, the only team I would do that with is the Chiefs.
Yeah, you're taking you're asking for a lot there.
Yeah.
You got a better chance of hitting something else at plus 360.
Maybe like a Chiefs to kick a field goal on a live drive.
Exactly.
We'll look at the passing props. We'll look at some of the props for this game before we wrap up this week. Stafford sitting at 277.5, and Jimmy Garoppolo sitting at 228.5. The lowest of all the quarterbacks this weekend. It's going to go Mahomes, then Burrow, very close, separated by 2 yards as they were 289 and 287. Then the drop down to Stafford sitting at 277.5. And like I said, Garoppolo, 228.5. So, Mackie, which way are you leaning on these?
I don't like either over here, considering I think this is definitely a defensive heavy game. I think that if anything, Stafford has a better chance of going over. I don't think Garoppolo reaches 200 yards in this game.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I
regardless
see
of his
value in
stance.
Garoppolo under 228 and maybe a same game parlay if you're into that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, even if they win this game, I still don't see him going over
yeah,
228.
big defensive game, Stafford interception, a lot of Elijah Mitchell, a lot of jet sweeps to Debo. I could see him ending this game. If the 49ers win this game and he has 160 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, exactly. He can have that low key of a game and still get out of it alive, just like he did last
And then
week.
get waxed in the Super Bowl by the Chiefs.
I kind of want that to happen, but I don't want him getting the satisfaction of getting to another Super Bowl.
Dude, you know how much money he'll get in free agency if he goes to another Super Bowl?
Yeah, he's a scam artist in my
Dude,
opinion.
people in Pittsburgh want the Steelers to sign him. I'm like, why?
That'd be the worst thing to happen to the city of
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
why do we want dude, there's a lot of teams that are saying he's like a really good candidate to fill in for them. I'm like, he's not a good candidate for the team he's on, let alone a new team. He has to go learn a new playbook.
He's not someone to be scouted like for you
Yeah,
guys.
I'm not really too high on him, but like I said, I'll make my pick for this game closer to Sunday. I think I'm leaning 49ers plus 3.5, but that's if I can talk myself into Jimmy Garoppolo has a decent game.
Exactly. You gotta bet on your quarterback first.
Like
So.
I said, that under's appealing to me, and it's looking like it's going to go up. So I don't know.
We'll
It's
see.
tempting.
Definitely like the under as well.
We'll look at these. We'll look at the receiving and rushing props real quick in the first half. We'll start with the first half. The first half spread's going to be Rams minus 2.5, sitting at a heavy minus 125. Just because I think it's either the 49ers win the first half outright, or they don't just cover a 2.5 point spread. So last week I didn't.
Yeah, this doesn't come down to 1 or 2 points in the first quarter. Or the first half. It comes down to a 7-point lead or a tie game or
That's really the only
Niners
time
could
plus
be up.
2.5 in the first half is valuable. Is you're betting on the game to be tied.
Yeah, exactly. Or your team leading.
Yeah. A really nice play I had last week was me and you kind of talked this on the podcast was Bengals first half money line 3-way. Got it at like plus 130, and I took under 24.5 or 25.5 first half. It was a fucking lock the whole way. I love that play.
Good play. What was the score at half?
I'm not sure. I know it hit. Let me check.
9-6, I
I think it
think.
was 9-6. Let me check here. I want to get an official number. 9-6. Yeah, it was easy. I had 10 points to spare. No touchdowns in the first half, but
Titans got that
the
touchdown
and went for 2 for no reason.
Yeah, why'd they go for 2? I wasn't even
Dude,
watching.
because Vrabel thinks he's a genius. Like, all these quarterbacks, or all these fucking NFL coaches that are young, they think going for 2 is the new way in the NFL. Take the point.
Especially in a situation like that. Like, why are you going for 2 in a situation like that?
9-6. You can make it 9-8. Woohoo! It's 9-7. A field goal still wins it.
No, I think it was 6-0 at the time. So they scored it. Made it 6-6.
No. It was 6-3 when they scored the touchdown. No. I think it did make it 6-6. I could be wrong because the Bengals only
It definitely didn't make it 9-6.
The Bengals only got 3 points off of that. The first quarter, the first drive interception by Tannehill. The Titans defense held them to a field goal.
Yeah, it was 6-0.
Yeah. It was 6-0. Henry got the touchdown. They failed the 2-point conversion, and then McPherson hit another field goal. McPherson was the fucking player of the game. But the real shout out that deserves in that game that we totally didn't even talk about was the fact that Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times in that game, still winning the game outright as an underdog.
Yeah, I don't really think that's a good thing.
No, I'm saying.
I mean, obviously, that's
more of a prop to the Titans defense. It just shows how bad
their
offense was all game. That the defense was putting them in the field position they needed, backing up the Bengals offense every single drive. There wasn't many drives where the Bengals looked like they had guaranteed points on the board, even after hitting an interception and basically starting the game on the Titans' 35-yard line.
Yeah, they only got 3 points out of that too.
And then it was sketchy, dude. They got sacked back to like the 40-something, and McPherson nailed like a 50-some yarder. It was,
Got confidence in their kicker.
yeah. Did you see that? What they tweeted? That's why you draft a kicker. It's like, you guys are the first team to draft a kicker. Don't act like you're the first team to do that. Colts drafted, what's his name? Blankenship from Georgia. He was a stud his rookie year. A lot of
He's a
quarterbacks
beast,
are studs
yeah.
their rookie years because they just don't give a shit. They just have like no pressure on them. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the longer you're in the NFL, I feel like the more the pressure builds. Is like guys like Chris Boswell and Tucker. They talk about all these. Oh, he hasn't missed a field goal from 40 yards in 10 years. It's like, boom, he's gonna miss this one.
Yeah, why do you say something, you
Like,
idiot?
say it after. Like, say it after he makes it. Be like, and he has now made 41 straight. Don't say he hasn't missed. Like, you were asking to jinx the dude. Especially Chris Collinsworth. I swear he does it on purpose. That's another reason I don't want the Bengals to win this game. I can't listen to fucking Chris Collinsworth for a year saying, oh, the Bengals won the AFC. They went to the Super Bowl. You got to look out for this team in the future. Yeah, we know you got to look out for the Bengals in the future. Shut up, Chris Collinsworth. I'm sick of hearing you on fucking commentating games. I don't even know how he still has a job doing that, dude. I can't stand listening to that guy call games. There's my little rant.
Dude, you can't tell that man he can't talk officiate or announce games anymore.
Dude,
He's been doing it forever.
it's like Al Michaels literally puts him on his back and carries him.
Yeah, I love Al Michaels. I think he's a beast.
But looking at these rushing and receiving props for this 49ers-Rams game real quick before we sound off for the week and head into NFC-AFC Championship weekend. Cam Akers sitting at 61.5. Deebo Samuel sitting at 40.5. Elijah Mitchell 72.5. And Matt Stafford and Jimmy Garoppolo sitting at 2.5 for Stafford and 1.5 for Jimmy G.
So stupid ass fucking.
Give me Jimmy G over 1.5.
I mean, yeah, until he needs the ball
That's the thing.
and he
That's the
loses
thing.
2 yards at the end of the
That's the
game.
thing. You just need him to get like an 8-yard rush once, and then he can kneel the ball 3 times, and he'll hit it 2 yards. Because the average kneel, unless like they do that bullshit double step back like Mahomes did.
It's 2 yards.
Yeah, it's 2 yards.
It's 2 yards.
I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
We
I
said
don't
it
like
at the
those
same
quarterbacks, especially when they don't run the ball.
Yeah, exactly. It's just tough saying. It's like betting Big Ben the fucking tree to rush for 1.5 yards. It's just tough when the quarterback isn't, especially with all the weapons they have. Each of these teams have 2-3 running backs they can go to. Mitchell, Deebo, Jeff Wilson even. They've just skill and speed all over the field. I don't know if they're going to be looking at Garoppolo to rush the ball too much. It'll be more of a scramble, get out of the pocket. He might slide for 3. And then even then, I don't know if I like it. But one I'm
Yeah, I don't know.
scary for me
I
is
don't know.
Akers over 61.5. I think really there's not an over in this that I love. I think there's value with Deebo just because you know he's going to get used in the rushing game. But you got to think the Rams, if they're smart, they're game planning for the number 19 all week. And I've been saying it all.
Well, yeah, you got to have your eyes on him the entire time. I mean, everything runs through that guy. Even if he doesn't get the ball, he's a distraction. Whatever he's doing, he's out there doing something.
But I think there's more value in Mitchell, surprisingly, at 72.5 to go over than Akers. And I don't really love either over at all. I just think the 49ers are a much more run-heavy offense, obviously, with Garoppolo, like we said. Between Deebo and Mitchell, they're known to get yards on the ground.
Yeah, I just like to stay away from it because, you can have 15 yards with 5 minutes left in the game and you can get a 60, 70-yard run and go over. So, I don't really like touching those over-under on rushing yards.
And we will take a peek at the receiving props. The big dog, Cooper Kupp, the only one sitting in triple digits at 103.5. OBJ, 52.5. George Kittle, 52.5. Deebo, 51.5. Ayuk, 49.5. And Higbee for the Rams, 39.5. Out of that, I like Deebo. Just if Garoppolo is going to drop back to pass, there's a very good chance the ball's going to Kittle, Deebo, or the guy I said earlier, Juwan Jennings. They don't even have his prop set, do they? Yeah, 23.5.
Yeah, but you can, dude, you could have Debo, and then like you could see him running down the field, and then you realize that it was a running play.
That's
Like
the worst part with a guy like that.
you can't just take like receiving yards with him. You'd have to do like total yards.
Yeah.
But I like Cup, dude. He got over 100 yards in the first, basically the first quarter last. Guys been killing his player props. He's guaranteed to get the ball at least 5 times a game. He's getting at least 70 yards every
He's
single
getting
game.
like 8 receptions a game, let alone how many times they throw the ball to him.
Dude, it's ridiculous. The guy's guaranteed to hit his player props over 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Now that I'm saying this, of course, he's not going to hit it this
He's
week.
going to get
But
102.
guy's just a beast, dude. Had an unreal year. Triple crown.
But to sound it off, Jesse, you got any of these props that you're leaning towards, or you looking more just for the straight play?
Probably just the straight play for me this week for this game. We'll see, though, for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
A lot of good plays for the Super Bowl. I'm real excited for
Super
that.
Bowl, you got to be looking for some prop action. The Gatorade color, the coin toss.
You know we're gonna hammer the coin toss. I've never thrown on the Gatorade color, but I'm gonna sprinkle that on
Dude,
this
think
year.
about it this way. If the 49ers and Chiefs play again, red will be the heavy favorite. But I'll
definitely.
like the odds for yellow. The secondary color is usually what happens.
It's never the primary color.
And then purple will be sitting there at plus 1,700 worth of sprinkle.
Purple's always the neglected one.
Yeah, lots of stuff to look forward to next week. We do not actually have an episode dropping next week. The next episode will be releasing the Thursday before the Super Bowl. That will be, I don't know the exact date, February like 7th or 8th, somewhere around there. No episode next week. We got a lot planned for the Super Bowl episode, so definitely stay tuned. We will be recapping these 2 games this weekend. Just going to be coming a week late. We don't really care anything about the Pro Bowl. We'll recap the Pro Bowl a little bit if anything happens, but I don't really care too much about the wide receivers dodgeball game. So, yeah, I'm looking more towards the Super Bowl. Definitely think we have a chance for a really good Super Bowl, whether it be really any of these 4 teams. But I made my pick so far. I like the Chiefs. I have Chiefs in a futures parlay. The Bucks fucked both of my futures bets, but still got the Chiefs alive. But lots of stuff to look forward to. I'm hoping we have another good weekend of football. Doesn't even have to be anywhere near as close as last week to make this a good weekend. Definitely love the AFC and NFC championship games every year. Let's go. Let's have a good weekend, watch some football, make some money.
Let's do it. Excited for this championship weekend. So see if we can win some money.
Yeah, stay tuned to the Instagram. Might put the picks on TikTok this week since a little less action to be going around with just 2 games. So stay tuned to the Instagram. Be releasing the team cards Sunday at noon, maybe Sunday at 1 o'clock. Stay tuned. I'll be putting out an official time on the Instagram story as to when it'll be posted. And as far as the TikToks, they'll come after the Instagram is posted already. So definitely tune into the Instagram first. And then you can kind of look at the TikTok for maybe some prop plays and things along those lines. So, as always, be sure to follow us on both. Hit the books.pod on basically everything you have. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever the fuck you use. Doesn't matter. The boys are down some units right now, but we're having fun doing it. Be a little more fun if we were up big. So, off the card, we're all doing pretty good. So, it just needs if I could put all 92 picks I make in a week on the card, I'd have everyone up some money, but those don't all fit on a Canva post. So, looking towards getting the card back up. Everyone plus units. We got 3 games left. I'm sitting measly down 0.03. Looking to make a comeback here. You two definitely got some ground to make up, but never force a pick just to get one in. So, we know that.
I'm gonna make a 7-unit play this week just to get back positive.
As well, you could.
Oh, never.
A little double
management.
unit might not hurt.
Yeah.
Just for the chance, but not gonna. Easy to spend someone else's money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, put $500 on the Chiefs.
I'll prove it that I threw on it.
Exactly. You have to show the bet slip. All these big time gamblers, they don't fucking show their bet slips. I'll show everyone. Fucking,
You gotta show the bet
yeah,
slip.
they're like, oh, I put $100,000 on this. It's like, okay, show the bet slip, dude. Oh, we put 10.
She's like, oh, I bet 100.
Yeah, it's like, dude, if you're betting 10 grand, you don't need to tell me you're betting 100. Like, that's pretty impressive that you're betting 10 grand on a fucking football game. So, but like I said, Sunday, conference championships. The card will be at between 12 and 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time Sunday. So tune into the Instagram. Follow us on everything. Let's make some money this weekend. Bengals, Chiefs, 49ers, Rams. 2 great games. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it, boys.
Let's do it. Real excited for this week. Huff said it all. See you for the Super Bowl.
And that's going to do it for us here on this episode of Hit the Books Podcast. Be sure to check us out on our various social media platforms. Instagram at hitthebooks.pod, Twitter at hitthebooks_pod, website at hitthebookspod.com for all the latest on Hit the Books. And be sure to always study hard.
Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.